Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian. I'm a work from home dad, and I want to talk about the evolution or revolution that's going on in the workplace where employees are tired of being in cubicles, are tired of commuting, they're tired of 30-minute lunches, and they want to work from home. This has been going on since about 2019 when the pandemic started kicking into high gear and people were sent home to work. And then after a couple of years, they didn't want to go back to the office. And now CEOs and company presidents and boards of directors are threatening these employees to come back to the office. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why they want them to go back. But this has opened up a whole new realm of opportunity for people who want to work from home because while all these people were working from home, many of them discovered opportunities to create businesses, obviously, which leads to income, to create income online selling whatever hard products, services, digital products, whatever they were making a living. Many people stayed with that, and over the years they built up huge businesses online, not just Amazon and eBay, not just drop shipping, et cetera, but there's a whole new genre of digital products that are in demand online right now. And so I want to talk about that tonight because there's a lot of facets to this. There's a lot of facets to working from home and having a home-based digital business. And when I say a digital business, what I mean is just it's a business you run from home that is based on the internet. It's based on the cloud, and you buy and sell and promote and market all on your laptop or phone or home computer. Okay, those are digital home-based businesses, and this has been skyrocketing sort of under the radar, and there's a few articles out there about it, but I think what's happening is there's not a lot of news about it because it's not big enough or it's not a corporation that's captaining the ship, so to speak, right? It's a bunch of little individual people. I'm also calling it the mom and pop revolution. They're taking back the economy from the big box stores. Hopefully, when I was growing up, most of the local businesses, everything from gas stations to car dealerships to even grocery stores, were not chains. They were loan owned by local residents, mom and pops, right? Families own them. Appliance stores, drive-in theaters, putt-putt golf, whatever it was all family owned. Everything was owned by families, right? There were some big companies around, but in the majority, from what I recall, places where I did business, which wasn't very much, I was a pretty young guy at the time. They were all family-owned shops, convenience stores, sub shops, eateries. The auto mechanic that worked on my car owned his own gas station for 20 years. So it's a very different world now where everything seems to be corporate owned. And I'm checking my mic here. Um, okay, good. I had an issue earlier where I wasn't getting any sound, but it shows like it's working pretty good. Okay. So mom and pop businesses were the bread and butter of America. That's where the middle class came from, right? Now you did have tech people, obviously engineers, doctors, attorneys, professionals like that, right? They made money, but many of the people that were doing very well in my community, they were not doctors, dentists, chiropractors, whatever. They weren't in that field. They were business owners. But as corporations came in and they bought up the smaller businesses, the smaller retail stores, HVAC companies or whatever, as the corporations bought these companies out or put them out of business because of pricing or competitive marketing, these individuals end up having to take jobs. And that's where we are today, where you have a two-income household. We're conditioned all the way from the time we start school to we graduate, including college and advanced degrees. And we're asked constantly, what kind of job do we want to have? What kind of job do you want to have? Rather than what do you want to do with your life? What would you like to have in life? What kind of life would you like to create for yourself? Right? We're pushed to have a job, a job, a job. But I don't know very many people that actually just love their jobs unless they're a doctor. Many of my friends are doctors, chiropractors, dentists, optometrists. They love their job. They love what they do. They really do enjoy it. Some of them went off and started other businesses concurrent to their practice. But most of my friends that are working are just grateful to be making enough money to support their families and live a comfortable lifestyle. That's what I see. I see people who are glad to be paying the bills, glad to have money to send the kids to school, glad to be able to take the kids on vacation a couple times a year, and that's pretty much it. But then, their time is gone. Their time is spent earning that money at a job, even if it's their own business. They never get into the point where they left the business and turned it over to a manager or to hire another doctor to work in their stead, and then they could go off and play golf and travel the world while the business made money. They never evolved to that, right? So now you get two working parents in many households. Sometimes one of those parents has two jobs, which I've seen before. So it's pretty scary. And just to really hammer the point home about what it's like trying to survive, is I recently met a couple, very nice older couple, older than me by at least 10 years. And they weren't even living paycheck to paycheck. That would have been good if they were living paycheck to paycheck. They were struggling for a couple of years in this cycle. I'm going to describe it for you. So they both worked and they had money coming in, but at some point something happened and they got behind about a week's worth of expenses. But they had decent credit and they had a credit card. So they put that last week of that month onto that credit card and paid those bills, whatever it was, gas, groceries, maybe the electric bill, some other portion of their living expenses went on that credit card, say maybe $1,000. Then, when they got paid that first week of the following month, they paid that credit card off and started the cycle over again. They paid their credit card off for that first week. So now they're down a month, they're down a week. Now they go back to living 2 or 3 weeks and then they put it on a card. They pay the card off that first week of the next month and they live to 2 or 3 weeks. And then, so it just went on and on and on and hasn't ended. They were still doing it. They were still doing it. They just needed $1,000 would have changed their life. Think of all the interest they paid on that card. So when I'm talking about a revolution, I'm talking about people who are taking control of their income and their future and their livelihood and moving from, say, a job, a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever kind of job you work at, a cubicle, at a factory, at a warehouse, on a job site if you're in construction, and shifting that energy and that create into a business online. And these online businesses don't really have to take 40 or 50 or 60 hours a week to run. They can, but they don't have to. They don't have to. In fact, I've sold thousands of items on Amazon and eBay, and I never spent 40 hours a week on any aspect of that. It never took me that long. That was my first taste of a virtual, almost virtual business. Now I did all my inventory and shipping, except for with Amazon, they fulfilled those orders. But what I discovered was profits are much better than wages if you work for profits, right? Even commissions are better than working for profits. Excuse me, for wages, like an hourly rate or a salary. Because even the salary, they tie it to so many hours, right? You've got to show up. It's like you work 15 hours a week and call it a done deal. They're going to want you in the office or doing whatever job you've got doing for so much time. You're just given a flat rate. So maybe you work 35, maybe you work 55. I don't know. So you just fit into the cog of you're a cog in the machine. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people love their jobs, but I also know a lot of people don't like their jobs, and a lot of people are not working in the field in which they got a degree. So the question is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You want to start a business? You go apply for a small business loan, right? Go to the SBA, put together a bunch of documents, take out a big loan, 30, 50, $100,000. You go out and buy some business. That's a great idea, but that is going to be another full-time job in and of itself. You could do it. I mean, you could step out of your job if you've saved some cash and then put the time in, because those things are create passive income or semi-passive, right? Like you don't have to be at the car wash washing cars for it to pay you. So to a degree, it's some degree, there's an element of passivity to that income. But what's happening now is that everyday average people, waitresses, real estate agents, bus drivers, welders, blue collar people, are discovering the internet for a very different purpose other than entertainment. Because so many people are online right now, their attention is there, right? That's why Facebook is so valuable, is because people always have their eyes on Facebook. They're scrolling and flipping and swiping and clicking and liking, right? Tagging and following. Same on any of the social media platforms. People have their attention on the internet and what's on the internet, specifically social media sites. YouTube has 2.5 billion users every month. That's about a third of the population of the planet use YouTube every month. That's a massive audience. YouTube is a massive platform. We put so much attention on the other ones, the quick fix scroll, TikTok, Instagram type stuff, that I think YouTube is underappreciated in many circles. When people talk about doing online business, I don't hear them talking about YouTube enough. But it's the second largest search engine in the world, for one. And there's 2.5 billion people that watch YouTube every month, which is more than probably all the other ones combined, because there's about 5 billion people surf the web every month, which is 60% of the world's population, give or take. So the opportunities are vast, probably more than you can even imagine. And I'm talking about this because rather than taking a part-time job, why don't you take that time and energy and that create and put it into an online business, something that could be nearly passive because you can automate many aspects of online businesses. You can work from home, so you don't have to commute anywhere. It doesn't cost anything to sit at your desk or on your phone on your couch. There's no gas, there's no traveling. You don't have to have insurance for your car. There's no wear and tear in your car. There's no time. There's no stress in traffic. You just finish your day at your job, and then you take a couple hours at night and you can create a new business. And it's very affordable. These startups don't cost thousands of dollars. You don't need inventory. You don't need expertise. This is what's attracting everyday people, everyday people to these online businesses. Now, a couple of stories. One, there was a girl, she was about 19 years old, and she saw all these people talking about all the money they were making online. And she thought it was a big scam. But she decided to take a look anyway. And this is her story. I'm not making this up. So she goes on and she investigates some of these opportunities. She finds one that she wants to try, and she did it. She made six figures her first 6 months, about 100 grand, 8 months in. She's like, and she did this video and she was almost hysterical she was in gleefully like, what the heck just happened? How did I do that? How did I, a 19-year-old girl with very little experience or training, make all this money? It's because there's so much. You just got to reach your hand out and stick it in that flowing river of cash that flows through the internet, the trillions of dollars that people spend on the internet. That trillions is not even an exaggeration, because just one industry, e-learning, electronic learning, online courses, online training, is $500 billion a year. That's over a billion a day, 1.5 billion. It's gonna double, potentially triple in the next 6 years. Maybe it's 8 years. But either way, you're looking at $1 trillion industry. That's just one. That's just e-learning. We're not talking about the dozens of other niches and aspects of the internet where people are spending money. That's just one. So the opportunity is there. If you are tired of your 9 to 5, if you're tired of grinding it out, not getting ahead, there are opportunities. I'm going to put a link in the comments for people that are interested, or comment in there if you'd like, and I'll send you a link of what I'm doing. And what it is a program. I think you can see it here. It's done for you, right? You've got a product. They show you how to attract customers. You've got a built-in payment system and delivery, and it's all done for you. It's all set up almost like a franchise. You just add water and stir. You step in, you follow the steps, you do what you're told, and you launch this business. It's not expensive. There's no monthly fees. It's not MLM. You don't have to call your mom and dad or your great aunt to buy stuff from you or subscribe to your lotions and potions. It's not network marketing. You don't have to call up your former boss or talk to all the waitresses at work to buy something from you to get it off the ground. I've never liked that model. What kind of business model is that? Sell to your friends. Who's gotten rich or successful just selling to their friends and family? I know it's just the way to start But why would you do that as a precedent? Why would you set that as a precedent to talk to people you know? Do you think you know enough people to get rich? If everybody bought from you, could you get rich? Maybe. Maybe if you had 1,000 people in your phone and every single one of them bought from you, you could probably get rich. But in this program, Legacy Builders, you learn how to market to people you don't know. And there's a lot more of those than there are that you do know. There's billions of people you don't know. And you're trained how to set up your program, set up your system that's automated, and then attract people to reach out for more information. And then they get into the system, and then they get enlightened, they get educated about the program and the products. And that's how it runs. You don't have to build all this tech stuff yourself. You don't have to write dozens of emails to send out. You don't have to program software that's going to send it out for you. You don't have to track anything. It's I'm going to say about 90% automated. Once you set it up, which takes a day or two, you get it all done, you can start promoting and marketing. And the beautiful part is, along with no monthly fees, they show you how to advertise, promote, and attract customers for $0 out of pocket, which is beautiful because how many of us have the money? You're trying to make money. You don't want to dump more money into it. That's another reason I didn't like the MLMs. There was just so much overhead. You're like, I need to make some extra cash. Okay, well, here, sign up for this. It's $39.95 a month. Then you've got to buy your product every month. That's another $149 a month. Now instead of making $200, you're upside down. And you've got to go. And now you got to really chase your friends around. Come on, dude, just sign up for this thing. Will you please? Please. How many times have you done that? How many times have you had to run around and beg friends in an MLM, chase people up and down, your pastor at the church? It's not a good system. I know there are many people who make money. I never liked it. I did many of them. Many, 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 many. Lost track all the way back into the 90s. Network marketing and MLMs. And the sad thing is I think they've abused that system and they made it seem so easy. And all the people at the bottom that get sucked in, they're paying all these fees upline, and the guy upline, he's not selling a product. He's making $50,000 a month in fees and overrides on the fees because you have to buy into the membership. But this is not this program. Legacy Builders, it's a one-time fee. You get lifetime access to all the material, to 40,000 people in the community. You can go into the forum anytime you want, into the community, ask questions. People share all their ideas, what worked, what didn't work, which is priceless because somebody else's wisdom, experience, and you benefiting from that is priceless because you don't have to give up your own time, your own money, your own energy. You don't have all the emotions flying around. Someone says, don't go down that path, do this instead. Here's what I did. I went this way, it didn't work, try this. And then they built the course around all of this experience. The founders of the program are available every single week, and they do live webinars. They do a Q&A. In fact, look, the last one they did was about an hour, maybe an hour, hour and a half. Yeah, it was over 5 hours, but the training part was only about an hour and a half. The last 4 hours was answering questions from the field. Either people who've been in business a while who are running into issues. It could be anything from people opting into my email system, but for some reason they're not getting emails. It could be a tech question. It could be like, how do I do some of this free marketing, whatever it was. But these people who are making 6 and 7 figures are on there answering these questions. They want you to succeed, and not because any money goes up line, because you keep all the profit. You own the rights to the products that you're selling. You own 100% of the rights. You get 100% of the profit. So it's easy to set up. Like I said, it's step-by-step program, paint by numbers, business in a box, whatever analogy you want to give it. That's what's out there. Now, there's other products and other programs you could check out. But what I love about this is that you can help people just like you do the same thing. They can launch an online business with a very little out of pocket, no monthly fees, no uplines, no recruiting people into your business, none of that. And you can do all the promoting and marketing for $0. And which is the whole premise of the program, is that, look, people are on the internet all the time, watching videos, scrolling, like I said, tagging, sharing, posting. You just have to put yourself in the middle of that and catch somebody's attention. And they teach you how to do that. They teach you how to talk to people. And I absolutely love it because I've always liked, well, one, I like to talk. And two, I always liked helping people in any way. Stop to change a tire, loan someone some money, a little advice, even if it's unsolicited. And hopefully I can guide someone to some solution to their problems. But if you're working a lot of hours, you're working 60, 70 hours a week, and you're tired of it, maybe you're an empty nester, maybe you have young kids like me. I'm a dad of two, I'm a single dad, right? My biggest concern is making sure I have money coming in to keep the doors open, the kids fed, and pay for dance lessons, et cetera, et cetera. All those things that we're doing. That's my biggest concern. How do I keep the money coming in so I don't have to go get a job? Because I'm a stay-at-home dad. I homeschool my kids, and it's been the absolute greatest experience these last few years. Since 2019, I've been home. I've been single almost 4 years now. I homeschool my kids, and I've made it all happen because of the online business, right? Residual income from a business that I did previously. So I had this passive income coming in all these years, but that's starting to fade away. I needed something new. And now I found another opportunity. And this is the thing is that I've looked at so many that I could tell good from bad, in my opinion. I could tell the ones that are worth doing. And there were so many that I looked at. I looked at affiliate marketing, but you still have to attract people to the website where you're posting the links for the affiliate market. See, the affiliate marketing is for people who already have a website, right? They have an online presence already, and the affiliate marketing is better than drop shipping. Well, I guess it's kind of similar, but drop shipping was a little different because you had to take the information from your buyer and give it to the vendor who would then apply it and then ship it out. Whereas affiliate marketing, you just send them with a tag from your website to their website. And when they buy, that buyer's tagged with your information and you get paid for doing it. So it's a modification of drop shipping. But drop shipping was a brilliant idea too back in the day, right? Rather than going buying $50,000 worth of TVs, you could just sell this guy's TV on your website. But you've got to have a presence. You have to have an online presence or money to advertise to attract people. Again, these are skills that most of us don't have. And who's got $10 or $15,000 to dump into a professionally built website with all the things you need? See, these were businesses, those business models were for people who are already in it, right? Somebody already in the business. You're not interested in SEO, which is search engine optimization, which helps you show up in the search results. You're not interested in streamlining your website or back end or your server side software. I don't even know what most of that stuff is. What is all that? But there are guys who understood that. But that's not for me and you. That's not for the blue collar guy. That's for the professionals. But what's fantastic is over the last few years, the internet has evolved, as it will always do, but it's evolved in a way that favors mom and pop. It favors the individual. It doesn't favor the big company. Because if you go on Amazon, I think about 60% of the people that sell on there are that's sorry, 60% of the products that are sold from individuals. It's not sold by Amazon. But actually it's a little terrifying because Amazon, anyway, don't get me started on Amazon. But 60% of the sales are from people like me and you selling whatever they're selling on there. Food, clothing, CDs, movies, I don't know. You can find almost anything on Amazon. Weird gadgets, collectibles. So that's 60% of the selling is done by individuals. Again, the mom and pop. eBay, same way. In fact, I don't think eBay doesn't sell like Amazon. eBay is simply and only for sellers, resellers, right? Then you get Etsy. You've got all these other places online where you can sell stuff. All these t-shirt shops like Redbubble. I can't remember all the names of the t-shirt places, but again, these are people who are selling on there and they started with nothing. You can start with nothing and just get into the community and start promoting. You can do some advertising if you have a little cash. But the program that I'm doing, the Legacy Builders, it's 100% sweat equity. So when you go out and promote and advertise, there's no out-of-pocket expense. Which is beautiful because that's really, in my opinion, what the internet should be about. Like if you've got good content and you've got a good message, people will find you. Maybe not right away. They will though. People go viral. That's great. That's wonderful. But that's not the norm. That's not how you would base your business model on the hopes of going viral because who knows? The guy from Instagram, I guess the CEO or the head tech guy was on an interview the other day. My friend was telling me about this, and someone was asking him about the algorithm. And he was explaining some things and stuff. And they said, well, what about when this happens? He goes, it's unpredictable. We don't know exactly what the algorithm is going to do. So even the guys at the top of Instagram, they don't know. They don't know. Whatever, it just catches the wind and takes off. People share it, or they're watching it, or liking or commenting right away, and it just keeps going, and the algorithm grabs it and sends it out there. I've seen stuff go viral, and I scratch my head and I wonder what on earth is this thing doing in front of all? Why are people liking this video? Other times it's obvious, it's funny or poignant or timely. There's a reason that people like it. So, but if you want to change your life, if you want to get out of your job, start working for something better for yourself, there are real opportunities. There's real people out there that shop online. There are real people out there that watch videos, and there was real opportunity. I know you see the Lambo bros with their Lamborghinis and 10,000 square foot mansions and stuff, and that's great. But I doubt highly that many of those guys made all that money in a short amount of time. And if they did, they probably had a mentor or got lucky, right? I just saw some kid, these two teenagers came to America and they were making $100,000 a month streaming. Could they teach that to somebody? Is that a teachable skill? Did they find that right niche? Did they get lucky, like striking that gold vein in the mountains? I don't know. Can they teach it? If it's not really teachable, it sounds like it's a personal skill, like a one-off. Like if they came to me and said, "Hey, do this, this, and this," I probably couldn't replicate their actions. But when we look at the internet, I think in the majority we try to say, "Oh, well, look at this girl, look at this guy. They've got 50 million followers. How much are they making online?" You know what's really funny is a lot of these influencers early on, when they went to sell a product, they couldn't sell a product. 3 or 4 million viewers, they weren't going to buy anything from that person. They just wanted to see them dance or sing or talk or tell jokes or whatever they did. They didn't want to buy anything from them. They really weren't quote unquote influencers. They weren't influencing anybody. They couldn't even influence them to buy a t-shirt. Multiple stories. Go online and look it up. Bombed, what are they called? Sponsorships, right? Collaboration. Company pays you 50 or 100 grand to mention it and stuff. Many of them bombed because they really weren't influencers. They really weren't. They weren't influencing anything because they couldn't even get them to buy clothing or food or whatever garbage they were trying to sell on their channel. So don't be fooled by that, that you think you have to be like that and to make it successful online. I met a woman, she had maybe she had 10,000 followers on YouTube, was a millionaire. It made $1 million from those 10,000 people that were following her. She didn't have 50,000 or 100,000 or 50 million followers. 10,000 is a good number. But she made her fortune before she hit that 10,000 or 12,000, whatever it was when I found her some time back. She had already made $1 million. See, it's not necessarily how many people subscribe to your channel, but what kind of influencer are you? Like, do they trust your opinion? Do they like what you're saying? So it's very doable. It's very doable. Don't be concerned about whether or not you can do it because there's more of us, more Joe Schmoes or Jones Schmoes or whatever. There's more average run of the mill people than there are the Lambo bros. Okay. And God bless the Lambo bros. I admire that. I wish I had a Lamborghini, a 10,000 square foot mansion, but I don't. I don't know how you made your money. It's fantastic. Real estate, online stuff. Fine. They found a niche and they exploited it and they made a ton of money. That's awesome. But that's not really something you can package and sell. Maybe, maybe they could. But what I do know is that there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are making six figures in this program, maybe even thousands of people making six figures. And there's thousands more that are just making side income a couple hours a day, or they've replaced entirely their full income, their full-time income. And you can do it too. I'm doing it. You can do it. It's not hard to do. You just have to be a little curious, a little adventurous, willing to take a little chance and put some time in. But I can tell you the first time I was able to work from home 100%, it was amazing, right? You get up when you want to, you do whatever you want because your money's coming in. It takes a lot of discipline not to just sleep all day and watch Netflix. But when that residual income was coming in and I knew that it wasn't going to run out for years, I had to come up with something. I had to come up with something. And that's why I homeschool my kids. I have 2 kids. They're young. We get along great. We do school every day. We watch movies. We go to the lake. We have a good time. I want that for everybody. Maybe that's not what you want. I don't know. I don't know what you want. I know I want to spend more time with my family. I see my mom and my brothers more than I ever have. I spend more time with my kids. I spend a lot of time with good friends. In fact, I started in this business with another very, very good friend of mine. We live in the same city and we talk to each other all the time about it. Share what we're doing that's working, what's not working. He's making sales too right now. It's amazing. So that's all I got. I just wanted to share that. There is opportunity. You don't have to be stuck at your job. You could, rather than taking a part-time job somewhere like a moonlight, you should just look at an online business. I'm going to put a link in the comments. Uh, you might be watching this on a, excuse me, might be watching this on a rerun, like a replay from this live. Just comment interested or info, ask questions. I'm happy to answer them. That's it. Have a great night, everybody, and enjoy your weekend.